Good Wednesday morning.
Good Wednesday morning. It's happening. Here we are, another day. As my dad used to say, another day, another dollar. Here we are, another day, and we're moving forward, and everybody's doing well that I've been speaking to, so I'm keeping in touch with people. How about you, Mark? How are things going with you?
Things are going well. April 1st, here we are. It's supposed to be April Fool's Day. We should be having fun in our offices with our friends, but instead we're stuck at home. Not sure anyone's in the mood for a fool joke today or not, but let's keep positive. It's a bright, sunny day here in New Jersey, so hopefully everyone's feeling good.
And I want to say something to everybody. There's a tradition you say every first of the month is rabbit. Not sure what it means, but I've been saying it since I was 28, something like that. So, and that's about 4 or 5 years ago. So been saying a lot. But rabbit to everybody out there. It's April 1st. It's a great day. Things change every day, and things are getting better every day. And that's the way I'm looking at things. You might say differently, but that's the way I'm looking at things.
Things are getting better every day. I want to start with a little gratitude. I want to thank all our viewers. I've gotten a lot of calls and text messages from agents and from friends and from colleagues around the country and even around the world who've reached out to me to thank me and Dave for coming online every day to give some words of inspiration, some information, just something for them to do for, half an hour. But it's really incredible the reach that we've received over the last 2.5 weeks that we're doing this. And so I'm grateful to all you viewers out there. Thank you. Keep sending in all your questions and comments and thoughts. And if there's a topic you want us to discuss or questions you want us to answer, we'll bring on the right people for that.
Yeah, me too, Mark. I've been getting a lot of direct messages over the past few days, and people that I'm friends with, but I only know through social media, which is really interesting. And this is throughout North America. Not just the United States, also Canada. So, I mean, that's been a really nice thing. And, we're trying to keep everything moving, and we're trying to bring people in that have different backgrounds and stuff, and to talk with us, aside from you guys getting bored looking at us. But I think we're pretty good looking anyway, so it's good to look at us, right, Mark?
Absolutely. You're looking good today. I like to see that you're in a collared shirt today. Yesterday you were in a t-shirt. You got rid of the jacket finally. I didn't want to say it yesterday, but since you brought up, how you're looking today, I like the fact that you're no longer wearing a jacket every morning.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, one of the things that I decided to do is get back to what I used to do. And it was a jacket, and it was I used to wear a tie, so I almost came out with a tie today, but I said, nah, I'm not going to do that. So I mean, my favorite color is blue, so you'll see me a lot in blue. I'll always wear blue. You know what? Yesterday was a t-shirt. I wanted to bum around a little bit, and I did that. But today's another day. I just try to change it up, make it interesting for me.
Oh, good. Go. I say I have enough Lynx polo shirts to last me for probably 3 weeks, so I'm good for there. But why don't you tell us? We have a special guest today. Why don't you introduce him?
Yeah, we have. It happens to be a good friend of mine from Cleveland, Ohio. His name's Tony Geraci. Tony owns he is a Century 21 broker owner. He owns the largest Century 21 in the state of Ohio, and he started his business and just wanted to be on his own way, and then started bringing in agents, and decided back at when we had a crash before that, he didn't need all the overhead. So he is basically a virtual business within the Century 21 franchise system. And Tony's done some great things, and he's in Ohio, so he's not almost middle America, Midwest. He's not the Midwest, but he's more West than we are. So
why don't we bring him in and have him tell us where he's at? Good morning, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, welcome, Tony Geraci from Cleveland, Ohio. Or actually, it's not Cleveland. What town is it?
We're in a suburb of the east side of Ohio, of Cleveland, called Solon. So in Cleveland, we're East Siders or West Siders. I'm an East Sider.
It's always funny to watch in New Jersey and try to describe anywhere else in the country is middle America, right?
Right, exactly. There's middle America, then California, right?
That's it, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I'm here at in tropical vacation capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio. So
that's amazing. So Tony, tell us about your business. Tell us about its structure and what you've been able to do over the past few years to get you to a point where you are today, and what's going on in your business today.
Sure. So basically, as a business, as our office is I opened my office 22 years ago, been in business 28 years, and had some high growth up until 2009. Well, growth in as of physical offices. I had 9 offices, 4 full-fledged offices, and 5 satellite offices, and was growing that way, and had about 150 agents at that time. But then all of a sudden, when 2009 happened, 2 things happened. I lost my a couple top teams that I had that were needed, wanted more money and went other places and the market. So within a year, my gross commissions went cut 50%. So you have to you got to shift, you got to pivot, you got to do whatever you need to do right away. And the one thing I did is I got rid of all the offices within a year, went down to more virtual, where all my support's here. So I like to say we're a traditional office where all the support's in one office. There's 5 of us that work in the office, 2 that work remotely, that assist the agents like a traditional office, but the agents are kind of out there. They're welcome to come into our office, but most of our agents are not even close to our office. So I started that because I was preparing for something like this since that time. And we haven't skipped a beat in, operations wise and helping our agents.
So how many years have you been set up like this?
Since 2010. So it's actually end of 2009.
And how many agents do you have working for you?
Right now, a little over 400.
Wow. And what percentage of those are producing agents?
It's typical when you get to this level is probably about 20%. So right. I say the top 20% are making more than the national average of $35,000, $40,000 a year, and the right. 80 there. So,
right, awesome. So, what techniques and advice are you telling your agents the last couple of days or weeks in terms of how to keep business moving? I mean, I don't know how much of a lockdown you guys are on in New Jersey here. We have curfews, and we're not allowed out of the house. So, what stage are you guys at, and what advice are you giving your agents?
Sure. In Ohio, this came out with, who the essential services are, and they left the title companies, mortgage companies, real estate companies in there, right. But to continue to work. But as agents, of course, we make sure that they're as safe as possible. I'm recommending if they have buyers or sellers that can wait, just wait, because they're still going to be there. There are going to be more buyers out there. It's kind of like a multiple offer situation. If you have your house up for sale now, I've been telling sellers, you're going to have, if their buyers are walking out now, they're motivated buyers, but you might have 5 more buyers in 4 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now. Right. So I've been telling my agents, stay on top of their clients. So those listings, if they're thinking about listings, stay on top of those buyers, because when it's safe and people are ready, they're just going to come out, and it's going to come out fast. That's my opinion. It's going to pick back up. And I've been telling them that I saw this happen before. And in regards to built up, as soon as they feel safe, then they all start coming out, right. And either financially and or, health wise.
Right.
And it's a perfect time to stay in touch with people just to see how they're doing, because we know they're under quarantine, they're at home. A lot of people you can get a hold of right now.
Right.
And you're at home. You send some texts, some emails, calls.
Right. So we're telling our sellers to list right now because people are at home and online. And I can track the, how many times our listings are viewed. And we're like 3 or 4 times our average on views right now because people are home looking at houses. So I'm advising all my sellers to put their house on the market, get the views on it, even though we may not be able to show it. And if we need to adjust something in a month from now, right, whether it be price or whether it be take it off the market and, for a week and put it back up, right, to make it fresh when everything gets started again, at least get the eyeballs on there. We have pictures of your houses already. We have people who can answer the calls and emails with information, right? We have video walkthroughs. Like, now's the time to do it.
Right. And in Cleveland, in Ohio, the Midwest, middle of America, our average sale price, we're like the national, we're the average. We're 165,000. I mean, that's crazy low from your market. We're really, the middle America average, Joe and Jane of regular jobs, regular everything. So the economy to a lot of these people, and I saw it back 10 years ago, if you have a job and it's secure and you have the money to buy, or you're going to buy. Right. A lot of the average people in the United States, the stock market go up and down, but that's not their savings. Their savings is their house. That's not that they like that, but that's not going to dictate if the stock market's up or down, if they're going to buy or sell. Those are kind of our kind of clients that we have.
Right.
So when you talk to your agents and you say you're talking to them, once a week minimum, you're reaching out to them all the time. What are the questions you're getting from them? What are they saying to you? Is it similar? Is it different? What kind of questions are they asking you and asking you for assistance and support on?
Most of the questions are about suggestions on how to stay in front of people, how to handle this, because just having our agents, half the agents in the United States have not been licensed for less than 10 years, or they have been licensed for less than 10 years. So half the agents or more have not even known a downturn. So everybody's going tick, 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 tick. And they didn't understand, wow, a shakeup. What do we do now? What is your suggestions? How do I talk to people? I have buyers that don't want to go back in houses. I got sellers that are worried about people coming in. And I tell them this is the perfect time to prospect, but a different vocabulary and checking up on people. This is it. And I try to tell agents, don't feel like you're not calling them to try to sell them insurance or financial planning to convince them to take their money out from someone else and invest it with you. You're calling them to say, hey, if you need me, I'm here for you. If you need to buy or sell or know someone buying or selling, I'm here for you. You can't, my opinion, most people, you can't convince to buy a house. You're like, hey, I'm calling you. Wow, I never thought about buying a house today. No, I just want to be your trusted advisor when you're ready. And if you need to, and this is a perfect time to call people and check in on them.
Right.
Is there anything you're telling them to do differently than usual, just picking up the phone? Is there anything having to do with, I don't know, I mean, let's think out of the box. Video? I mean, that's not out of the box.
Oh, yeah, of course. Just, you do a great job with is just video, social media, being more involved in watching what they're doing and be involved in their lives, which I love the social media because you could get to know the people you're without even having to call them. Back 25 years ago, we had to call them and ask them, what's going on in their whole life to find out what's going on in their lives. Right. So this is, we all, and the agents, I mean, as a broker, I say this to them. It says, I see so many agents being friends with 3,000 agents, other agents. I go, that's not your sphere.
Right.
Start building your social network around people that might buy or sell houses from you.
That's right. That's right. That's what I've always said. If you have a sphere of influence list, and if you don't have one, you need to be working on that now and getting that together. And you need to connect with everyone on all social media channels when you can. And that's a great way to get people to know you and to be aware of you.
Right. Like today, I just started. I usually do a weekly video for my agents, and today I'm starting to do it every morning at 11. And today my topic is like a little social media workout, like what you should do. How many do this? Friend 5 new people. Send out one personal post and put one business post, one healthy or funny post. Just I'm going to give them a daily workout of what they should be doing every day on their social media.
Right.
That's great, because that's what they should be doing, and that's how they build their business, and that's how they should, when they're building up what they have to do and they're building up their social networking, that is so very important, is to be involved in their community in that way. You can't be involved physically right now, but you can be involved on groups, etc. And you can also start a group now. It's a great time to do it because you can probably get a lot more traction today than you would later, because there's your personal page, your business page, and your quote unquote community page, which is community group, depending on what you want to call it, whatever. I mean, don't be corny with it, but it's something you can build now. That's something that's really important to build. And that's great. And that's perfect. That you're doing a great job doing that out there. What are you seeing out there with mortgage companies and title and everything compared to, I mean, you don't know we're seeing it happen. Things are still happening out there, and you're still push.
Well, in our market in Cleveland, we do escrow closings, not really roundtable closings. So really the only thing that needed to be done is try to figure out where they're comfortable face-to-face with a notary, and to sign their papers, and it only has to be one person. So they could, and a lot of our closings are done at the people's houses. So I've had agents like yesterday, had a closing, the closing agent came to the house, they had a table set up in their garage, and it was 6 feet apart. Like, you stay on that side, I'll be on this side. And I know some title companies are working to try to figure out, how to do it even electronically and not have that face-to-face notary on that. So logistically wise, it's not that much harder. You don't have to go to an office. You don't have to have 5 people around the table sending checks a lot around each other. So that's been working out fine. And we're having more and more agents out there doing videos and video tours of houses, so they don't have to bring their buyers there. I've had a couple agents put in offers on houses, with the contingency of actually physically going there when it's safe, when they feel it's safe to go within a certain period of time. So the sales are still happening.
So what about the other pieces of the closing, like movers? Movers still working?
That's the one thing that I haven't had any data on, and how people are scheduling movers. I think most of the people that have closed just in the last week or two, they haven't either haven't told our agent what they're doing, or our agent haven't get back to me. But that's one thing that I've asked agents to keep me updated on. We're going to find out very soon, because this really just hit us about a week we're less than kind of 2 weeks into actually a shutdown. So about 2 weeks of a shutdown. But the movers were still scheduled, movers were still working. But so we're kind of a week out trying to find out what's going on.
Right. Dave and I have been talking all week, last week and this week, about the amount of money that gets circulated into the economy when someone moves. Because you have the movers, you have people who want to paint the houses, maybe redo floors, maybe fix up for contractors, right? All are hiring subs. So all this trickle effect of all this cash flow for all these different businesses because of a real estate move are all being slowed down, and some places coming to a stop. So we're always curious to see across the country, are people able to still utilize these services, or is really because we are stopping, our focus on our business right now because of what's going on, is it preventing everyone else also from doing that around the country?
Well, I feel that, it's, of course, CNN is not calling me for my opinion, but I've been telling agents my opinion with real estate is nice. If you have a buyer or seller now, they're either going to do it now or they're going to wait. You might still probably have a good chance of having that buyer or seller and make the same amount of money you would have made. Hopefully at the end of the year, you're making the same amount of money or even more than you did before. But right. Like businesses, like example, restaurants, whenever they open back up, the customers might come back, but that customer's not walking in the restaurant ordering 10 meals in one day, because they're just ordering their normal meal. So they're not going to be making up the money before. They might make a little bit more, people might come up, but they're not making the same amount of money. In real estate, we might have that ability to keep that income coming. Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, yesterday's number, I don't know if I saw it yesterday. I think I saw it again yesterday, Mark. The number was $84,000 going back in the economy from the sale of one house on average throughout the country. Right. I saw that number yesterday. And I don't know, I guess it was something NAR put out, and I just scrolled down and I saw that number. It might have been, no, it's actually from Keeping Current Matters, excuse me, that I thought, and which is, if anybody's looking for statistics or anybody's looking for, as real estate agents, if you're looking for something good to use, Keeping Current Matters, keepingcurrentmatters.com. Go there, because the information there is spot on. It's substantiated, it's documented, and you're not going to get any crap there. And there's so much stuff you can use. And this is not a commercial for Keeping Current Matters, but I'm going to tell you, if it had to be, it would be, because they do such a great job in putting information out there and helping the agent do their business. And it's a great way for postings and everything else. It's great. It's good.
Right. And I really firmly believe it. By the end of the year, we're going to see maybe possibly, we can't go back and take a look exactly what the market would have been if nothing happened. But I think it could be more houses sale than we would have had without this, because there's going to be people moving their jobs. They might get another job somewhere else. They might downsize, upsize. They say 9 months from now might be, a boom in births.
There will be, and horses.
Might be a lot of people in 9 months from now that all of a sudden need a bigger house, or people
only if they don't have kids already.
Right, exactly. Or if you have a family at home, kids, both parents are at home, both parents trying to work from home, and kids do their schoolwork from home. They're like, wow, we need an extra room. We need an office. We need something for all trying to work. So they might need an extra room, So,
we already got that call now from two or three families in Manhattan looking to move to the suburbs here in Jersey, because they're in a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, but they have 2 kids there, and they were fine up until now. But now that everyone's home and they have no outdoor space, they want to move to Jersey. So now they're looking at houses already, and they're hoping to be able to buy one this summer.
Right. Yeah. For all the people saying, yeah, this size house is great because we're only in there to sleep and maybe
Right.
watch TV a little bit. But when you're in a house 12 hours a day, you're like, wow, no, this is kind of small.
Yeah.
People can, I believe, and we've talked about this before, is I believe that a lot of people could be sitting in their house saying, this house sucks. We need something else. And if I just had this, well, we can't do that here. We need to get another house. I believe that the real estate market is going to be the catalyst to improve the economy, and it's going to. We might have a month of recession, but that's it. I mean, some people are talking inflation as well. I don't see it. I believe that we're too resilient, and you have people like us three that are going to push forward and be positive with everything that's going on. That's all.
Right. And I think the values of the houses are going to be stable just because it's a supply and demand type thing. And, more people might be getting sick of the stock market going up and down, investing their money in real estate.
Exactly. So, and Tony, what is the number one question I have for you is what would you tell the public about the real estate market having to do with the economy right now?
Well, it's totally different. I mean, buying a house or selling a house is you have to have a need, unless you're an investor or buying a property for investment purposes. But no matter if good economy, bad economy, you're buying a house for yourself, your family, and it really doesn't affect much. I mean, in our market here, we do have some investors, but we're not like in our market too here. And I saw this 10 years ago. We're not the vacation capital of the world. We're not the retirement capital of the world. People, I joke with our agents. I said, when people move back to Cleveland, it's usually when they go out after college or they try somewhere else and they go, okay, now it's time to be close to the family, move back to Cleveland. So our market, luckily, I feel is pretty stable with the normal ways people are buying or selling a house. So I always tell our clients is that when you're ready, when you think it's a good time. And of course, now I've been pushing out to our agents the last 50 years of interest rates to show them, yes, if the interest rates jump between 3.5% and 4.5%, is not earth shattering. Anything under 5 is just take it and run with it. So, within a couple of years, there's a lot more space for the rates to go up than go down. So just in the next couple of years could be 8%, could be 7%. Realtors today that have been in the market less than 10 years don't even understand what that might mean to their business. So I'm more concerned about keeping interest rates low so it's affordable for people and keeping that.
I want to relate a little bit of my experience, and this is really going to date me, but I'm going to go back anyway. One of the first few years I was in the business, we dealt with 18% interest rates. So I know that was back late 70s, early 80s, but you have to understand something. Homes still sold. People still moved. We found a way to get it done, and it happened. So whether it's 8%, 4%, 6%, homes are still going to sell. It's just going to be a different type of business.
And then it was 20% down. There was no 3% down or 3.5% down.
Right. Exactly. And so go ahead, Tony.
So that's all. That's more. Market wise for me, I watch the interest rates and in hopes that they never get to the point where they say, okay, you need 20% down. So we kind of went through that in a very, very bad real estate market. Like right now, the economy is where it is, but as real estate, we didn't start this one. So and we saw a lot of mortgage problems back then, and I don't think there's going to be that issue now. Interest rate might move around. They might slow the market down with financing a little bit because they're getting bombarded with refinances. But overall, it's a lot better than it was, 10 years ago.
True. So what advice would you give to an agent that says, well, I asked this of Chris Tardy the other day. They have a fear. They don't know what's going on. They've got their head in the sand. Mm-hmm. What would you say to that agent if they came to you, and you saw it, they're just like, oh, get the woe is me idea, and they got their head in the sand. What would you say to them?
I would say this is the perfect time. Just spend the time connecting, building your database, connecting with people, showing them that you're there for them, and you'll make it through it. But every agent's different, because with 400 agents, I talk to agents all day. By the end of the day, I can barely talk some days. So, and they're all different. Some of them are full time and going, oh my gosh, if I have 20% less sales this year, I might, I don't know, that's if I'm going to survive as a full time agent. And then I've got a lot of part time agents that if they lose 1 or 2 deals a year, they're still fine. Because they have another income and they're still trying to build their income to get to where they want to be. So I tell a lot of agents that I saw a lot of agents that were part-time in 08 and 09, and by 2012, they were full-time. Right. Actually, my top agent team started in real estate in 08. He got his license in 08, and he went full-time by 2012, and now his team sells over 300 houses a year. So he got into it right in the bad part of the market, part-time, and within 4 years of the worst market ever, he went full-time.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Let's, thanks everyone for watching. We have a lot of hellos. Alexis, happy April Fool's Day, guys. Rose Lapira, good morning to you. Malky Benson, good morning to you. Shalom. So Shalom, he's a local business owner here in northern New Jersey. He owns something called the Humble Toast. He's been donating food to the hospitals for all the medical workers. He's keeping his restaurant open for pickup and delivery. He's making weekend packages for everyone. So I just want to give a shout out to the Humble Toast. Chef Sal, good job. Keep up the good work. We're happy to support you and keep things going. So whatever we can do to help, reach out to us. And Christina Gibbons, good morning to you as well.
So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Our goal is to bring you a little spot in the morning that you see at least two great looking guys. Sometimes we have women on, sometimes we have men on. You never know. But we're here to give you to keep you going. And as they used to say on Saturday Night Live, to pump you up. So so that's something you can look at. But I just want to thank everybody for watching, and we're just here to help. That's all.
Tony, thank you for coming on today, sharing your insights with us.
Well, thanks for the invite. Always happy to help out. And thanks for the morning pump me up.
Tony, let's connect later on.
Good luck to everyone. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.